Beaks and claws. Ponder a while. Do the beaks of birds have shapes according to the food they eat? Are the claws of different birds different in shape? What are their functions? Birds are the most distinct and specialized group of vertebrates. As we use our hands for performing various actions, birds have beaks that perform a variety of jobs. The birds use their beaks to catch and pick things, communicate, weave, stitch, meet the needs of their young ones, kill their prey, and defend themselves. Sometimes birds use their beaks as tools also. Types of beaks. The shape and size of these beaks depend upon the food that the birds eat. Some common types of beaks are strong, sharp, and hooked beak. This type of beak helps in eating other birds or animals by tearing their flesh. So, the birds of prey such as kite, hawk, owl, and vulture have such beaks. Short, hard, and horny beak. Sparrow, pigeon, finch, and peacock are seeds-eating birds. They have short, hard, and horny beaks to crush hard nuts and pick them easily. Fact trivia. Birds clean and smoothen their feathers with their beaks. It is known as preening. Long and slender beak. Birds like hoopoe and cattle egret have long and slender beaks. Such beaks help them to pull out insects from holes in the ground and from the skin of other animals. Broad and flat beak. A duck has a broad and flat beak. It also has holes in it. It helps it to take out insects and worms from the muddy water. The tiny holes in its beak allow all the mud and water to flow out, leaving behind the insects and worms. Did you know a bird's beak continues to grow for its whole life? Straw-like beak. This kind of beak helps the birds to suck the sweet juice called nectar from the flowers. Hummingbird has straw-like beak. Fact trivia. The beak of the sword-billed hummingbird is longer than its body. Spear-shaped beak. Pelican and kingfisher have spear-shaped beaks. They use their beaks to catch the fish. Let's do it. Find out the names of birds which you see frequently. What kind of beaks do they have? According to the beaks, think about the food items that they can have and tabulate it on a colored sheet. Chisel-shaped beak. A woodpecker has a long and chisel-shaped beak. Such a beak helps it to make holes in the bark of a tree and to pick insects underneath the bark. Claws. Most of the birds have 2 feet with 4 toes on each feet, and each toe has a claw located at its tip. The claws of birds are useful to them in the following ways. Claws help the birds to catch, hold, and eat food. Some birds use their claws for walking, swimming, climbing, and perching. Claws also help the birds to protect themselves from enemies. We can classify birds on the basis of their different types of claws. Perching birds. Some birds rest on the branches of trees without falling. This act is called perching. They hold the branches with the help of their claws. These birds have 3 toes at the front and 1 behind which curls around the branch. Pigeon, crow, sparrow, etc. have such feet and claws which hold them while sleeping also. Birds of prey. The birds which hunt for their prey are called birds of prey. The birds like eagle, hawk, vulture, and owl have strong, horny, and curved claws to catch and hold their prey. Climbing birds. The birds like parrot and woodpecker which climb up the trees with the help of their toes, are called climbing birds. These birds have 2 toes in front and 2 at the back. Fingers in such claws are different directions. Scratching birds. Birds like hen and quail, which use their claws for scratching the ground, are called scratching birds. They do so to bring out the seeds, insects, and food buried in the ground. These birds have 3 toes in front and a short hind toe high up on the legs. Swimming birds. Birds like duck, pelican, and swan swim in water. For swimming, these birds have webbed feet. They have 3 toes in front and 1 at the back, with the skin present between the front 3 toes, forming a web. Birds use this web like feet as oars while swimming. Let's do it. Collect some food items in a bird feeder and put them in an open place. Wading birds. Birds like crane, heron, and paddy bird walk over shallow water. They have long legs and wide spread out toes. These help them to wade through muddy water without sinking. Running birds. Ostrich, penguin, and emu are running birds. Their legs are very long and strong. They can run very fast. Ostrich is the only bird that has only 2 toes on each foot. Vocabulary cards. Vertebrates, the animals that have spine or backbone. Nectar, the sweet juice of flowers. Perching birds, the birds that rest on branches of trees without falling. Birds of prey, the birds that hunt for their prey.